Hey guys, Nicholai here, back at you with another video. This time I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be going over this thread and we're going to be going over the use of AI in debate and why, generally, depending on your background, you typically don't want to use AI. Now, I would not advise using AI almost ever. However, there's some things that you guys should understand about how AI functions so that you guys can properly understand how to use it when it is used, okay? I don't recommend using it as a baseline for your theology or anything like that. I don't think it's wise. It typically leaves out key context and other things of that nature, and sometimes it just flat out gets things wrong. Now, why is that? To start, we're going to go over this and then I'll explain why that is. Christ loves his blessed mother, why can't you? I'm going to share that, that's great. I do, but I don't worship her as a deity. That's a grave sin. No one worships her, my guy. LOL. So true. Grok summarized the Christian sects that worship Mary. And then Grok says, no mainstream Christian sects worship Mary as divine. That would be idolatry, rejected across denominations. Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, Oriental Orthodox venerate her intensely as the Theotokos, with prayers like Hail Mary and feasts, but reserve latria worship for the Trinity alone. And for any of those who don't understand latria and dulia distinction, that can be a separate video if you guys want. Protestants generally limit devotion to Christ, viewing Marian practices as unnecessary or risky through some high church Anglicans incorporate limited honor. Do any Christians worship Mary? And then it continues, it pretty much just repeats what it said before. And then Catherine says, LOL, even Grok understands it's not hard to understand the difference between this. Grok, who does the Bible say not to pray to? The Bible directs prayer exclusively to God as the Lord Prayer. And through Jesus Christ, the sole mediator. It prohibits praying to idols, false gods, or consulting the dead, with some interpreting this against saint intercession. No verse explicitly forbids Mary, or the pattern prioritizes directly the Father, which intermediates beyond Christ. What did early Christianity teach about saints in heaven and the resurrection as God? So yeah. Anyways, she's using this to demonstrate. She's using this to demonstrate the point, which is that you can use Grok to kind of make broad claims. But why is it that Grok takes the side of Catherine on this, or at least seemingly does? Well, there's two reasons. One, AI is basically just an advanced algorithm that does searching on behalf of it. It's trained on available information in English or in whatever language you're using it in. Since a lot of Christian works and even scripture and interpretations and things of that are not available on the interwebs, a lot of these things will not have the full scope of the theological framework, which is why you shouldn't use it for the full scope. It will summarize information that it finds. It's basically an advanced Google algorithm that summarizes information that you're looking for based on keywords that you're searching for. So what is it going to do? It's going to look for Christian, sex, worship, and Mary. It's going to search that like a Google search almost. It's going to take all the most highly rated information, compile it, and then spit it out in a way that is coherent. That is what AI does. Now, you shouldn't use it. Wandering Texan has learned a very valuable lesson. You shouldn't do that because what information is going to be the most relevant? Well, Orthodox and Catholic sources are going to deeply explain this issue since it's an accusation we get a lot. Meanwhile, the Protestants that accuse us of this typically don't have robust defenses of this because it's just an accusation they throw out there. And so there's not going to be the available information or context for it to even think that that's a potential possibility. And so what is Grok going to do? It's going to prioritize the information that's highly rated. And that's why you see over and over again with Catherine, people will just be like, "Oh, I don't, I'm outraged by this." Well, that's just argument from incredulity, and then they'll try and use Grok to prove their point, and then they realize, oh, Grok actually agrees with these people. Well, again, that's because these people don't understand uh, veneration, dulia, latria, and all these other issues. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of this theological topic. I just wanted to point out that the way that you use grok matters. Remember what it is. It's compiling information. So that means it will get certain things wrong if those things are not common in the language that you are speaking. So for example, in English, if I'm typing in English and asking grok for this information in English, it's going to prioritize based on location, based on IP addresses and everything else. It's going to prioritize that information based on that. And so you're not going to get a full picture on a lot of things. Sometimes even you're going to get flaws because something that's highly rated might not be true. Just because like for example, for some reason AI likes to go to Reddit. Well, just because it's on Reddit doesn't mean it's true, right? So that can be a problem. Um, there's a lot of things to be desired about AI, but it can summarize information well for you. If you're looking for basic summaries, um, it can be fine. If you're looking for something super in depth, I highly recommend staying away from it. Um, and the best way to use it is say, Grok, can you give me some sources that I can go and search for this information so that you can verify it? Because then you can know what sources they're actually using. Anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. Please, before you use Grok in the future, just think about how it operates. If you want more information about AI, I can do a separate video on AI altogether. I explain its flaws, its uses, and other things of that nature. AI is not smart. It doesn't have a mind. It's not able to assess the information itself. It compiles information and then summarizes it, but is given a sort of quote unquote personality to express things in like uh, nouns and present tense stuff. That's it. So I hope you guys had a great day. Enjoy the content. Have a wonderful day.